Welcome back to the Torch and Key Apothecary. So we are doing a reading for just the general energy right now, wherever this video is finding you and whenever. Because this is a general reading, go ahead and take this energy for wherever and whenever you are on your path, and leave a little room for how this will... Oh, this one really does not want to get off of me. Leave a little room for letting this land later on. So if that means saving this video to come back later, wonderful. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. Leave it for somebody else. Okay, so the first card that popped out here, we're doing this pretty organically, was the Familiar card. Now, this is speaking to those deep bonds. So you may be going through something where you are rekindling these bonds or growing them. For some of you, it might involve truly a furry friend, a familiar in the most traditional sense. Spirits, spirit guides, animal spirits that you work most closely with. It could be a fox or a wolf. I would look out for those as signs too. I will say I don't do love readings. I will never say your one true love is coming, your soulmate is around. No, because that's not grounded in reality. But I will say that, again, your mind has a way of linking these archetypes and these symbols with the story it's telling itself and with what's going on in your life. So, if you are in a position where you see maybe a dog in the community or a wolf, a fox, some kind of furry friend, and it seems familiar or it seems friendly, I would take that as a sign, but also be cautious whenever dealing with any animal. Of course, use your discernment, use caution, and give it its space. But this could also speak to actual human-to-human relationships, too. Could say that you have support coming in right now, or you are fostering bonds that will help you to grow. So I just wanted to kind of pop that out there because this card really did not want to go back into the deck. So somebody out there needs to hear this right now, that you have the support around you. You just have to look for it. Okay. Also, I've been playing around with the ideas of how to structure these videos, what content to offer you, because it seems like everybody really, really enjoys the tarot and oracle videos. Of course, we will continue to do the community support videos. We will continue with the updates, because that is the cornerstone of this channel and of this community, is bringing community support, is healing, hope, or bringing hope, bringing healing, and being in community together, both on and offline. So doing physical, actionable things that are aligned with our values as a community and with our values as an organization. Now, this is just small. This is grassroots. So right now I'm working with trying to find organizations just around me, but I'm encouraging you guys to do the same. But that's a long-winded way. Okay, we're going to take that one. It's a long-winded way of saying I need your guys' input on what content you would like to see. Because if I'm just putting these videos out here into the ether and nobody watches them, well, that's not doing a lot for the hope and healing and, you know, what I want to put these videos out there for. I'm not doing this to hear myself speak. Like most of you, I am trying to like my voice on recordings, but this is something I was called to do. And it feels like only one piece of a bigger puzzle here. So if that is offering readings, if that is offering meditations, if you like my voice, and want to hear some kind of meditation with it, a guided meditation, what have you, let me know. Let's see what else we got here. We're going to make a whole picture here. Ooh, oh, 2 cards. Thank you, spirits. Wow. All right, already this is a pretty fun reading for this energy. Now, I say all the time in the videos that we work with things like archetypes as medicine. And I'm also playing around with the idea of a podcast. And I am so sorry. I'm leaning on my tray table where my camera arm is attached to. That's why it's shaking like that. I'm trying to get myself not to slouch. But if you would like to hear some kind of guided meditation based in the Torch and Key Apothecary, based on those archetypes, walking you through them, let me know that too, because we're at the ground floor level of something that will be so big one day, not in a monetization kind of way, but in a way that says this genuinely affects people's lives in a positive and healing way. But in order to do that, I need to know what you guys would benefit most from. Ooh, okay. Interesting. All right. Spirit, please give me 2 more cards just to round out this reading here. And I just hopped on here, not really for like a daily reading, but more so to play around with the energies. I felt called to pull some cards and just share with you what I found. These videos are, for the most part, very informal. They don't have a lot of structure to them because I don't like it feeling scripted. I don't want you to feel like I'm saying the same things in the same order with the same tone all the time, because that feels disingenuous. Of course, I'm not knocking the tarot and oracle, the divination channels that do have a structure to them. That absolutely has its place. But I feel like that doesn't work here. I feel like that's not what I want this to be. I'm always going to be real with you. I'm always going to be down to earth. All right. Ooh, 2. All right. Cool. Now, if you tuned into one of our earlier readings, some of these cards will look familiar, because they did show up in, I think, literally last night's reading. But you guys saw how much I was shuffling, so we're going to take the cards as they fell out. Also, no one has told me yet whether or not the algorithm is going to be bothered by the images on these cards, but I'm trusting that most of us are probably adults here, are probably responsible, and can use our own discernment with the images that I'm showing you. They're not pornography. They are literally just the images of the cards. And if the social media platforms don't like them, we'll work around it. But let's get into the reading first. So this first bit of energy here, we saw in yesterday's reading, and this is the bigger picture. This is seeing the forest through the trees. Because when you're in the thick of things, it's really hard to see what it's all leading to. And for a lot of us, we may never know what this whole thing is leading to. And for the most part, we're not supposed to. But we are being asked to take a step back as much as we can in something that's going on in our lives, to see how things are connecting, or to even just trust that we have an eye in the sky that is looking out for us. This could be your greatest self. This could be your own intuition. It could be a deity. It could be ancestors. It could be your own instincts. Insert whatever you need here, because we don't really ascribe a lot of set in stone religions or beliefs to this, because this is your reading. Your squiggly brain can interpret this however it needs to. Okay? But we are being asked to take a step back and to view something with a wider lens. Because there's another path available to us. Something that is not, I don't want to say set in stone, but something that is not traditional in the sense that we know it right now. So this is the witching herbs. This is nourishment, but it's not the nourishment that comes with medicine that you get like at the pharmacy. If you have an herbal practice, if you work with plant medicines and plant spirits, it could be a time to use those in a more holistic way for the bigger picture. Of course, I am not a certified herbalist at all. I am not a doctor or a medical professional. So whatever I say here, don't take it as medical advice, okay? But that is to say that plant medicine absolutely has its benefits. It has its place in the wider picture. So if you perhaps are going through a health issue and you find that the responsible use of plant medicines helps you in a holistic way, consider that at this time. Do some research, do it responsibly with whatever you're doing, and see if that helps. Because I'm hearing that there's a lot of medicine to be had that does not require a pharmacy. It's not going to cure everything, but it's going to do it in a more holistic way. If that makes sense. So that felt like a very specific energy if you were going through some kind of medical thing. Okay? Not a doctor, but if you were going through some kind of medical thing or something that would require herbal medicine, that feels specific. Now, for the wider picture here, this is why I say that you have an eye in the sky right now, because we are being asked by the spirits to take notice right now. Your ancestors, your spirits, your guides, they are saying, hey, we're reaching out right now. We want to form that connection. We are looking out for you, but that requires a two-way street. So for most worship of ancestors, spirits, deities, guides, it's a two-way street where you don't start by asking for a thing, right? It's like running up to a stranger on the street and saying, hey, can I have $50? They're going to say, no, I don't know you. Who are you? Go away. But any good relationship is built on trust. It is built on the back and forth communication, the relationship that you build, okay? So you have support here with ancestors, with spirits, and they're asking you like, hey, build that relationship. We're coming to the table. And obviously you need some kind of help, but that requires a relationship first. Now, what I'm also hearing is that your guides are asking you to trust yourself enough to let loose. Because we have the flying ointment. This is, pardon me, this is just letting go, letting yourself be free. Now, if you have studied any kind of, any of the history around flying ointments, one of the stories says that quote-unquote witches would rub these plant medicines, again, there we are with the plant medicines, which were perhaps psychedelic or mind-altering in nature. They would rub them on their broom handles and they would run through the forest naked, and the more sensitive skin would absorb those oils from the plants, and, you would feel like you were flying. Of course, look more into that at your leisure. I'm not going to go deep into that right now, but I will do a deep dive if you want it. Right now, we're being asked to trust that we are being led somewhere, that I'm hearing that we have a lot of momentum if we just stop holding ourselves back. Almost like a slingshot, right? The further you pull that slingshot in one direction, the faster it's going to go in the other direction when you finally let it loose. And you've been holding on pretty tight. So your ancestors are saying, just let go. Right? So, because they see something bigger that you don't. And again, with that brief history of plant medicines and flying ointments, maybe you do responsibly use a flying ointment or other plant medicine. Traditionally, they've been used in meditations, in guided meditations and different spiritual practices. Use them ethically and responsibly and safely, but they are still plant medicines to be used. So you may be being called to use something for the purpose of using it as a flying ointment. I will also say that I do ramble on this channel a lot, and I will lose my train of thought. It's my squiggly brain, but if you're here, and if you've stayed this long in the video, chances are you're in the same boat, same hat, right? So just, if you could excuse that or go with me, that'd be awesome. Because now we're coming to the next energy, and these all tie in together, but they could, of course, relate specifically to something you've got going on. We have our solitary witch here with the as above, so below. So this is very much the magician energy in tarot. This is saying that you're taking a bigger idea from the ether, from your mind, from spirit, and you're bringing it down. You're bringing it down to earth into the physical world. And how you're doing that is by this deep and personal healing of yourself. How I work with my spirits and my guides, especially my ancestors. How am I going to put this? Let's say that you have cycles that perhaps generations before you were stuck in. These are cycles of trauma, cycles of pain, just cycles of living life with the tools and the knowledge and the resources that they had, right? And this is all going to make sense, hopefully, for some of you. But the way I work with my ancestors is their healing doesn't stop when they died, right? Because now, all of the healing that I do on myself, with their help, furthers their healing, and it's cyclical, right? I get the chance to break the cycle, and by helping me, they are helping themselves, and they are doing that healing in a deeper way that they couldn't on Earth. Now, this is to say, if you have ancestors that you really don't have a good relationship with, this isn't asking you to work with those ancestors, but it is also reminding you that you have more than just your immediate family's worth of ancestors. Every single person who went into making you, you'll have tens of thousands of ancestors. And you might not know any of their names, but trust that they are also doing that healing, right? Your immediate ancestors may never do that healing in your lifetime, and that's okay. But there are ancestors who love you enough, who support you enough, who are healed enough to help you do your healing. Possibly, because what I'm hearing too, if you're not helping them to heal, I think they're helping you to heal, because for some of you, and I'm getting some tinglies, which is how I know this is hitting home for some of you. For some of you, you're going through something right now, and maybe in the physical world you don't have a means of healing it, because this is the first time you've ever experienced this. But in those tens of thousands of ancestors, you're going to find more than one person who has faced the same things. Maybe not at the same time, maybe not the same way, but those same overarching themes have come up for at least a few of your ancestors. So I would reach out right now if you have a specific problem that you're trying to heal. If you're facing something you're trying to heal, I would reach out to those ancestors who are healed, who want your best interest at heart, to help you with this, to use their knowledge in helping you to help them. It's cyclical, right? So that's kind of how we're bringing it home here. Again, to start at the beginning. You're down here in this forest. You have all the plant medicines. You have all the resources, even if you can't see them. You have traditional and alternate medicines at your disposal. Ways, we're going to call them ways of healing, because it doesn't have to be just plant medicine. It can be energetic medicines. It can be energy healing as well. Things like Reiki come to mind. Now, your ancestors, your spirits, whoever you're working with, it could be even your higher self, they are seeing a whole different picture. They see everything that you don't. And they know that you're not supposed to see everything, right? So stay with me here. But they are saying, we can help you. They are offering that olive branch and saying, we're here right now, but we can't act unless you ask us to. Let us connect with you, possibly with flying ointment, in some kind of meditation, right? To get yourself out of your body, out of your own head, and into that liminal space where you can connect with them, because they have some messages for you. They have some information that you don't have. And they're saying, help me, help you, help me, help you, help me, help you, vice versa, on and on. Right? So it's cyclical. The same way that this ecosystem on the card is cyclical, if you think about it. That hawk, that bird, that eagle, whatever this creature is, I'm not quite sure, it's diving into the river, into the forest for its food. Well, that food gets its nutrients from the forest, and vice versa. If you've been to any science class, you'll know what I'm saying here. All of life is cyclical. And it doesn't stop at just the physical. So, I hope this helped. I'm being called to draw another card here. We're going to see what else you need to know on your journey here. Okay? Just one more card. And this is going to be, let's make this the advice, please. What advice do we need? Thank you. I love when my ancestors are very, very prompt. When they want me to know something, it's right there. But that's also because I've built my relationship with them. So, ooh, feeding crows. This is, you're in a time of transformation. And I love this card because, especially in the book for the Witching Hour Oracle deck, it gives the analogy that most people don't see crows in a positive light. They say, ew, why are you feeding crows? Like, they're ugly, they're squawkish, whatever. But you don't see what they're seeing. You see something deeper. You're on your own journey here, and it's not going to look, from the outside, it's not going to look like everybody else's journey. But you are still learning something. And the booklet goes on to say that this is also a sign that you are being taught a lesson, or that maybe a lesson has not yet been learned, but it is on the table to be learned. You are in a lesson right now. And I know that's incredibly frustrating to hear, because every tarot video ever says, oh, you're starting a cycle. You're being asked to end a cycle. It's going to be personal for every person. And I don't want you to take it as a buzzword. But trust that the healing, too, your healing might not look Instagram worthy. It might not look pretty. And sure, you're going to miss some things on the way. But you have resources to rely on. You can let loose and trust yourself enough to learn these lessons, because you are transforming in such a major way right now. And I think I will, okay. So birds are coming up again. So when we pulled that first card way at the beginning of the video, when we pulled the familiar card, of course, look for the four-legged friends. But now we have flying ointment, we have a bird here, and we have crows here. I would take that crows, of course, but also, what are you? We're gonna say eagles. Whatever this bird is. Somebody can tell me in the comments. If you see specific birds, especially in instances where you don't expect to see birds, take that as a sign. Take that as a sign that your guides are right there with you and saying, hey, all you have to do is ask right now. All you have to do is ask. We cannot intervene unless you ask. And again, we're getting as above, so below. As above, so below. As above, so below. Right? Wow, I'm getting real jazzed about this. And I'm very excited for you. So we're going to end it there before I go on another tangent. But thank you everyone for sticking with me for this just spur of the moment video. I hope that this does resonate in the ways that it needs to for you. Of course, leave some room for it to resonate later. And if you're seeing this outside of the time this video was posted, it was probably meant for you then. That's okay. So go ahead, interact with this video, like, comment, and share. And remember too that we mentioned in the beginning of the video, let me know what direction is most healing for you in these videos. Do you like the divination? Would you like a guided meditation? Would you like the Reiki and the spiritual energetic work? Because there are so many different ways that I can take this platform. I'm looking into maybe making a podcast. But I need to know what medicine makes the most difference for you. Okay? So just get in those comments, let me know, and I can work from there. I can ask my guides what needs to be done, and we'll try to bring it to you. So everyone have a wonderful evening. If you're still in that heat wave, please stay safe. Please hydrate, okay? And I'll see everybody in the next video.